intimate, and they get a false sense of intimacy when they seek out a prostitute or someone outside their marriage. Now, it's not always the guy's fault. It takes two. And
well, wait, you're saying outside the marriage. What if the man is single and cannot meet a woman? Or what if the man is single and doesn't have the time to go dating? Or what if the man is single and is afraid to date someone for fear that she's crazy or out stalking him, and he just wants to use someone to relieve him? I mean, I'm laying it on line here as though this is a clinical discussion. I'm not taking that side. How do you answer that point of view?
Fair. For a guy that's single, I'm not saying legalize it. If that's what he chooses to do, that's his choice. Go ahead and do it. But you're still going to lack the ability to be intimate, and it takes work. I mean, if you look at intimacy between a man and a woman, that's probably the highest form of intimacy that man has been created with and can enjoy on this earth. And it takes work. Okay?
Now, let's talk about this from a perspective that a child can understand it, because many children listen to the show. How do you define intimacy?
Being able to share anything about yourself that you're afraid that other people might think you're normal or unusual. And when you're
see. And bringing that into the sexual arena with a in a marital setting, for example.
Okay, son, your dad and mom love one another a lot, and one of the highest forms of love that we express to each other is when we close our door at night and we make love to one another. And it's a very special time. It's the most special time that I have with my wife, whom I pledged my love to years ago at the altar of marriage. And I want you to ask me anything and any time as to how that works so that you can treat your wife the same. Michael, I went outside my marriage, and I lived in sexual sin for one time, and I went for 7 months to a place to help me learn to be intimate, and I know it's work. So,
well, you know, God bless the people from Texas. I mean, you're a straight-up guy, and you laid out a scenario right now that's not commonly discussed. I've never heard it put that way, Matt. You've been through something there to have come out so clear on this.
It's intimacy. It really is. And I mean, I can ask all your listeners to think about the person or persons with whom that they feel closest to, and they are the ones that have let their guard down and shared a secret of whatever kind it is, and that's a form of intimacy. And the highest form is when you take off your clothes and you love on your loved one, and she loves on you, and at the end you're both smiling and you're happy, and there's no judgment, and there's pure contentment between the both of you, and that is worth the work.
All right, man, you really made a heck of a speech right there. I think you've changed a lot of lives. I appreciate you calling the show. I never thought we'd get this seriously into this, but hey, God bless that gentleman from Texas who really knows what he's talking about. It's something that you don't joke about. I think that, you know, we grew up in a society, all of us, and we still have it, where sex is considered a ha-ha and a joke. Is it a joke? Should sex be a joke? What is sex? Is sex just a release? Is sex the most divine experience between people? Or are we overly concerned with sex and we should just walk away from it already? Is it too much? You know what I'm saying? Savage.
For more information on this and other great programs, go to TalkRadioNetwork.com. Get access to affordable health care now. Are you uninsured?
Hello, Ms. Booth. Is it okay if I sit down?
Charlie!
You're so excited.
International Pension gave birth to in January 2009, making her the world's most famous mother, forever then known as Optima. Public reaction, however, turned negative. Well, favorite is a taxpayer. She's not. She shouldn't have her kids around. She's a freeloader. When it was discovered that this single young mother already had 6 other young children and was unemployed. What was this 34-year-old mom of 14 thinking? Joining me is America's most misunderstood mom, Nadia Sloman. Welcome. I really appreciate you being here.
I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
And I got a couple of things off the top I want to address. One is I have triplets. And so when I see you running around with your kids, I deeply empathize with what you're dealing with. For instance, I just saw you on the Today Show. Well, you know what happened. I mean, your kids were scattering around. I thought, that's how I was behaved. That's nothing to do with mom. You were counting heads and stuff, trying to keep them in control. But people somehow became very judgmental of you in that situation.
That's a given. You know, people, on average, I've learned that people adopt a false sense of entitlement, judging other people's lives as if it's their own.
Yeah.
Feeling entitled to do so. And so for me, in that situation, I caught myself being very defensive. I don't know, I knew I was living it. I was like, no, I have no help. Zero help. Well, I don't have any help, but what I do have is a very select, circle of friends that do help, that I trust, and have been there for years prior to the fact that my life is manifested into the carnival attraction out in the media. So I trust the parents of my kids' sons at the Christian private school in the
Okay, because that's the one thing as a triplet parent, we always said, when other parents of multiple come to us, get help. Whatever you do, get help. Because you just can't survive.
Here's the thing, since I was little, I've always just loved, being alone and just relying on myself. I always joked growing up and I'm just functionally independent. But I'm the only child. That's not an excuse, because I'm always a very, very introverted, highly anxious, and just very, very shy. So when people gave me attention, I would just look down. I would look away and I didn't want to be seen or be heard. And so then when I tried to, express myself using vocabulary that, what people can understand, just because I want to sound smart, not necessarily not.
Well, you seem not. You seem fine. I mean,
that's the thing. I do catch myself in defense, particularly for the last 2.5 months.
Because people are attacking.
For many things, of course. I like to not be bothered with other people's business. I personally, if I were an outsider looking in, I would refrain.
You don't watch TV or go online?
I haven't watched TV. I've never had internet, never. And I don't watch one. I didn't know you want to get all that. No, I want it. It's what, honestly, to remain kind of detached from the scenery.
And no TV?
I haven't watched anything. Nothing. I've done that once.
So it's you and your 14 kids in that little world together?
My little world. I've created my own space predictable society. As a psychiatrist,
actually, an internist addiction.
Yeah, that's right. When you're aware, you're an expert at human behavior, and perhaps that's my way to overcompensate certain things about my thermodynamics that are missing in my pelvis.
Well, let's talk about that, because you actually worked in psychiatric hospitals. Did I read that?
I was valedictorian of my psychiatric technician program for 18 months. I also was perfect. I got an award for perfect attendance. I never worked at one month. I like to joke, say OCD, but just a D away. If it's hindering your ability to function as a disorder, for me, I thrive off of my self-discipline and self-control. Okay. So I felt like, I need to do that. I was one of those nerds with the 5-inch stack flashcards with rubber bands wrapped around them.